Alright, hello everyone, it's Diamond here, and today we're going to be talking about currently new manga that I've been checking out. This one is called Candy Flurry. Now, I'm not really a manga person, not at all, but I decided to give manga at least a chance, and most of the things I want to read up on, like for example One Punch Man, the chapters are a bit too long, so I've been overwhelmed with reading some of them, but I decided to try to see if I could find one that was pretty short in terms of chapters. And currently at the time of making this video, Candy Flurry sits at about 5 chapters. So I chose to make the decision to read it and see what it was about. And so far, it seems pretty good. Good enough to make a video about it, to at least just recommend it to other people. So far, what happens in the manga? Well, things are a little bit strange, a little bit bizarre, a little bit, very just out of place. You wouldn't really expect to see something like this. So far, it seems like it's mostly about, candy. Specifically, people who have candy-like abilities. So they use their sweets as, pretty much their superpower. So far, the manga is starting to remind me a lot of One Punch Man, in terms of its characters and its world building. And what I mean by that is, the characters kind of seem a little bit silly. You wouldn't really expect to take most of them too seriously. Sort of like the characters in One Punch Man, for example. Another thing when it comes to the world building is the way the manga is set up. They have sort of like a tier list almost, sort of like S-class and A-class heroes for One Punch Man. They have a tier list for characters that go after the sweets users. And I believe that they have sort of like a tier list for the sweets users as well, basically saying who you should fight versus who you shouldn't fight, and talking about the threat level and how dangerous it is and who needs to go out there to fight. So I think it's pretty interesting. And so far, the candy users are depicted as villains, and from what we've seen, they've all been bad guys, except for the main protagonist, who seems to have a candy superpower, but is on the side of good. And currently, our main protagonist is going to work with the heroes to try to see what they can do to stop the other candy users. And currently, our main character is being framed for something that they haven't done. So, it seems like this is going to be a very interesting manga. And like I said, it does remind me of One Punch Man. It's very silly, it's very out there. There are moments where it's meant to be taken seriously, but then there's a majority of other moments where it feels like it doesn't take itself too seriously. And that's why I kind of think they kind of share the same similarities. But I would recommend checking it out. Just like the Attack on Titan video, this one isn't really scripted. I'm kind of just going off and just talking at the moment. But hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Don't really know when I'll post again, but we'll see what happens. This has been Diamond Legend, and I'm off for now.